KRBC is your severe weather station. This is Abilene Midday on KRBC.
Live on TV and streaming online, this is the brand new Abilene Midday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brittany Paulette. New information this midday: sharing a bed with your baby could be considered a deadly idea. A rise in infant deaths have been reported at Hendrick Medical Center in Abilene from co-sleeping. This is when parents allowed newborns and infants to sleep with them in their bed. Hendrick officials report 5 infant deaths in Abilene in just the past few weeks, which may be linked to co-sleeping. Local doctors say that the habit of co-sleeping is a growing problem, but they also report there are other factors leading to sudden infant death syndrome. We'll have more on that story tonight on First at 5. And cows with tuberculosis. Some West Texas cattle have tested positive with the disease. According to the Texas Animal Health Commission, this is the first time in 3 years. Those that drink unpasteurized milk from a dairy that has not been certified as tuberculosis-free can get tuberculosis. Health officials will not release where in Texas these cows were, but several cattle that tested positive were slaughtered. According to the Texas Association of Dairymen, there is no health risk for people consuming pasteurized milk, and it's okay to eat any cooked beef products. Drugs tucked away in a diaper bag. It's what police found after making a routine traffic stop. Normally, you expect to find diapers and baby bottles in a diaper bag, not marijuana. 19-year-old Joe Bush was arrested for possession of marijuana after early police stopped him on a routine traffic stop. That's when they found pot in Bush's boot and in his 4-month-old son's diaper bag. A woman in the car with Bush was released along with the couple's 4-month-old son. He said he killed a man and now he wants to take it back. An Abilene teenager and his attorneys are waiting to see if a judge will suppress a confession he allegedly made to killing a homeless man in 2007. Michael Martinez and another person are accused of beating 48-year-old Eric McMahon to death. The beating took place in an alley behind Love and Care Ministries on Fannin Street. Martinez is now 16 and will stand trial as an adult. The second suspect was never captured. The trial is set to start on Monday. And 2 men are in jail and 1 is in the hospital after a fight ends in a stabbing in Brownwood. Police say the 3 men forced their way into a home in the 1700 block of Main in Brownwood. The resident, fearing for his life, stabbed Luke Hopkins in the abdomen. Police arrested David Bishop and Nathan Goodman on charges of assault and burglary of a habitation with intent to commit other felony. Hopkins is in stable condition. Meanwhile, more witnesses on the stand in the punishment phase of a Coleman man found guilty of reckless injury to his foster child. Charles Yarborough was convicted in the death of his 15-month-old foster daughter last fall, but the jury deadlocked on punishment and a mistrial was declared. The state is retrying the punishment phase with a new jury. And drug problems are on the rise in Taylor County, and the Sheriff's Department is focused on doing something about it. Taylor County Sheriff's Department held a Crime Watch meeting in Buffalo Gap on Tuesday night. They explained the importance of being alert for possible misuse of prescription drugs, something they say is a growing problem in our county. The Sheriff's Department explained how simple it can be for your prescribed pills to end up in your child's school.
We're looking at some of these controlled substances that ultimately will and have ended up in the middle schools and the high schools. When you have a prescription drug that is expired or you no longer need it, that we would like to help you facilitate a way to dispose of those drugs.
The sheriff and his agents explained that simply throwing out the old pills isn't enough. Instead, they need to be fully destroyed by grinding them or even burning them in a barrel. The Sheriff's Department also explained how to watch for other commonly used drugs in the county, such as cocaine and methamphetamines. Police say that an accident on the outskirts of Abilene on Monday was caused by one of the drivers falling asleep at the wheel. It happened Monday afternoon on Highway 351. Authorities say Philip Bishop dozed off behind the wheel. His Ford Thunderbird drifted into oncoming traffic, hitting a Ford Bronco driven by Kathy Frank. Both drivers will recover from their injuries. Take a look at this survey from our teen drivers here in Abilene. Half of them don't care if they get a speeding ticket, 13% admit to driving drunk or riding with someone who is drunk, and 2/3 say they have been pulled over by the police.
Now, your First Alert forecast.
Well, it's warming up out there this midday. Already looking at temperatures across the area in the low to mid 80s. We'll start off with the numbers. If I can get tongue-tied here, 83 right now. It happens every now and then. 83 here in Abilene, 86 in Sweetwater and Breckenridge. We're looking at 84 in Snyder, as well as down in Brownwood and Comanche. Factor in the relative humidity. This gives you the heat index. It feels like it's actually 85 here in Abilene, 88 in Sweetwater. It feels like 90 in Breckenridge. Here's how your headlines look. High pressure and control. That means we stay hot, we stay dry. No storms. The storm track well to the north right now, and as far as the temperature trends, anywhere between about 95 and 100 the next several afternoons, and lows at night about 72 to 75. Point is here, it's warm and it will stay warm. More on that forecast in just a bit. Brittany?
Iran's opposition leader has called for more protests tomorrow against the results of the country's presidential election. Mir Hossein Mousavi's supporters say victory was stolen from him with fraud and vote rigging. Richard Engel has more from New York.
Iran today increased its crackdown, particularly tightening controls on the flow of information. Iran has made it almost impossible to upload all of those cell phone and internet videos that have been so powerful in fueling this protest movement.
It's absolutely crucial for people to be able to use these websites, because otherwise a lot of the news may not have gotten out.
According to a senior prosecutor in Iran, anyone found guilty of incitement could face the death penalty. Still, despite these warnings, the opposition leader Mir Hossein Mousavi has called on his supporters to come out onto the streets on Thursday and hold a mass, peaceful demonstration. That could be a major confrontation. The Iranian officials have also summoned the Swiss ambassador who represents U.S. interests in Iran to complain about a statement that Iran considered interventionist by President Obama, in which President Obama said that many Iranians appear not to be convinced by their own elections.
That was Richard Engel with the latest in Iran. Now, eBay is known to save some users some cash on purchases, but there's a growing trend of cashing in your old things to help you out during these tough economic times. No shots and no medication. Coming up, find out a new way to tackle those miserable allergies. And Abilene Midday is interactive, so join the conversation on Facebook. Just search for Abilene Midday and become a fan. We're back in 2 minutes.
This is Abilene Midday on KRBC with Brittany Pauletz and meteorologist Chris White. You're watching Abilene Midday on KRBC, the Big Country's only interactive newscast.
Welcome back to our TV viewers and everyone watching on BigCountryHomepage.com. In this challenging economy, many businesses are doing the same thing as many people. They're clearing out stuff they don't need and they're selling it on eBay. As Brian Curtis reports, it's a boost for businesses and for eBay.
I think these are iOmega zip drives.
Computer hardware, high-end lighting fixtures, premium cosmetics. That's just some of the stuff that business owners are unloading at this easy sale eBay store.
We've seen a tremendous increase in the number of businesses that are seeking us out.
They're making the same decision as internet hosting company SoftLayer, which is selling entire pallets of used computer servers.
Clearly lots of other options, but it seems to get us the broadest range of customers and access to people.
SoftLayer is getting rid of these computers because they're upgrading their technology. But there's another reason many companies are turning to eBay: the economy.
For some businesses, eBay is an easy way to convert excess inventory into much-needed cash.
It may be less than what they paid for it, but they can then turn around and take that money and invest it in new inventory that they can sell profitably, and that's good for the business.
It is also good for online shoppers.
We're seeing a lot more new inventory.
Sadly, this can be a final stop for some business owners.
They were actually closing, going out of business.
It makes the boom here bittersweet.
We're doing really well. You hate to kind of profit from other people's misfortune.
But for many, struggling or not, eBay has turned out to be smart business.
Easy Sale, the company featured here, will handle the entire eBay process for a cut of the action. They'll pick up merchandise, photograph it, post it on eBay, collect the payments, and then return the net proceeds to the client. Time to get your reaction to this story and anything else Chris has. Your Facebook feedback, Chris.
Yeah, Brittany, still getting a lot of comments about the story out of Dallas. The parents who said that their child was kidnapped, and it turned out they may have allegedly killed their child. Katie here says, how sad can you get? You bring a child into the world and then you decide to end an innocent child's life. That's wrong. If you don't want the child, put it up for adoption. Janine says, this makes me sick. Millions of women aren't able to have children at all, and then people who choose to have them in their lives, crazy. Someone out there would have loved to have that baby girl in their life. Lisa says, so let's take the parents, tie their hands behind their backs, and throw them in the deepest part of the same lake. Corey says, oh no, I was so hoping for a happy ending to this one. That's awful. And then Pat agrees with Lisa there. And then Carrie says disturbing. And Melissa says, I don't know how someone could be so mean. Big story here in Texas, of course, in the area. Several comments on this story. You can also leave your comments by becoming a fan of Abilene Midday. And also still getting comments on that controversial Calvin Klein billboard in New York City. Log on to our Facebook page, check that out. And of course, we'll share some more comments coming up after weather. Brittany?
Thanks, Chris. Well, if you're tired of taking pills or getting shots to help with your allergies, you're going to want to hear about a new allergy solution without the pills or the shots. And after the break, Chris will return with a look at the hot forecast. Stay with us. Abilene Midday will be right back.
This is KRBC Weather with meteorologist Chris White.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back into Abilene Midday, and it's very warm out there this midday. Of course, we're looking at our sky cam up on top of the KRBC studios. That is South 14th and the bridge going over there, the Winters Freeway. And of course, our webcam here takes an image about every minute here, and I promise those cars are moving out there. It's just our camera takes this image about every minute here. And well, warm weather continues. Still 83 here in Abilene, 86 over in Sweetwater, as well as Breckenridge. Brownwood, you have 84 at midday here. Same deal out at Winstonfield and Snyder. Winds currently, we have the highest wind gusts over at Avengerfield there, 20 miles per hour, 17 here at the Abilene Airport, and then Brownwood's Airport about 13, 14 in Breckenridge, 14 in Snyder. So a little bit of a breeze helping you out in that hot weather. Of course, the hot weather, well, it's there, but once you add the dew points in, it makes you feel muggier out there. Dew points are in the 60s all across the area, upper 60s, the highest dew points out here in the eastern counties. We did have dew points in the 50s this morning in Snyder, so the moisture's there, but then again, the heat ridge is just sitting right over us, and that basically acts like a lid. That keeps the clouds from developing and also the rain chances out of the forecast. 63 under dew point now, 83 the temperature, sunny out there with a 10-mile visibility. Our barometer holding steady at 29.89. Now, we did have some clouds at times this morning move across the area. Now, one little batch, we'll say just off to the east of Abilene, but notice it's mainly sunny from Abilene back off to the south and west. I still think plenty of sunshine out there today, maybe mostly sunny conditions like we're seeing up here from Haskell back over toward Aspermont and up toward the Knox City and the Monday area this morning. But as we go through the day today, again, it will be hot out there. Look for those temperatures climbing up into the upper 90s, and a few spots will hit 100 here, so the warm weather will continue. High pressure sitting off to our east, that's dominating our weather, and this is basically acting like the lid, keeping the storm suppressed. Now there's your dry line right now, eastern New Mexico, but it's not going to move very much further here as the high will keep everything hot. It will keep everything dry here, and the storm track right now with those highs in place basically up here to our north, and that's where it's going to stay for the next 7 days. 99 for a high today. Some of you will hit 100, plenty of sunshine. A little bit of a south breeze to help you there, about 15 to 20. 75 for tonight under mostly clear skies. And we'll take you out to your 7-day forecast. Still looking at highs averaging between about 95 and 100 each afternoon, and lows at night into the 70s. But again, weekend plans, a lot going on this weekend. The Fandangle up in Albany, the rodeo down in Coleman. Of course, Father's Day on Sunday, it will be hot there, so just be ready if you're going to be out and about.
But at least are we going to keep seeing this breeze that, you mentioned that we have this little breeze going on right now?
Well, we're going to keep the south breeze maybe a couple of days here, but it looks like the winds are going to let up toward the weekend. So enjoy the little breeze while we have. Now, it's a warm breeze, but, it'll help if you're under a shade there.
Yeah, I was going to say that we have to get under the shade.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Chris. Put an end to those allergies without taking a prescription or having to get a shot. And let's go ahead and check out today's featured BigCountryHomepage.com blog. It's our dining out blog. And for all you pizza lovers, it's a blog you won't want to miss. It tells you about a new pizza joint in town that is both tasty and you can get a whole pizza for just $2.50. Log on to the blog and find out where it is.
You're watching Abilene Midday on KRBC.
There's a new treatment offering relief for some allergy sufferers without the pain of the shots and the side effects of medication. But is it worth the cost? Lindsay Wilcox reports.
For as long as she can remember, Janine Jacks has been battling food allergies.
In my case, I would get really bloated, like that evening or even the next day. Sometimes I would get diarrhea.
Tired of having to avoid her favorite foods, Janine decided to try the allergy care system at her chiropractor's office.
What allergy care is literally reprogramming the nervous system and the immune system so people don't suffer from allergy problems.
Patients are hooked up to a biofeedback machine that Dr. Ray Nannis says pinpoints food, seasonal, airborne, and environmental allergies by sending frequencies into your body. Those allergies can then be treated by using alternative medicine.
It's a combination of 8,000-year-old acupuncture, without needles now, 200-year homeopathy, and brand new state-of-the-art laser technology.
Treatments only take about 90 seconds, but patients routinely have to undergo a series before the allergy is corrected, and that can get expensive. Dr. Nannis says on average, patients will spend between $800 and $1,800.
All right, so eyes open, looking straight forward.
Janine's had nearly 24 treatments so far.
Well, the big thing is that I'm not as bloated. And of course, you know, as far as clothes and appearance, I'm real happy about that. You know, I'm sleeping better. I just feel like there's kind of been a weight lifted off of my body.
She says as good as she's feeling, it's been worth the time and money.
We'll definitely not have a mold and mildew problem after this because we've done this twice now.
That was Lindsay Wilcox reporting. On Abilene Midday, you get the chance to sound off on this story and any others. Chris is monitoring your Facebook feedback. Chris?
Well, every time we drive by the gas station, the prices keep going up. In fact, gas prices have raised about 50 days straight across the U.S. Some of you are commenting on this. We're talking about the local gas prices here in Abilene. Karen says, unfortunately, it's not a huge surprise. I just hope it doesn't go back up to $4 to $5 a gallon. That's like it was last summer. Nick says, if anything happens again, I think motorists should do something about it, especially feel bad for those 18-wheel drivers here. And Corey says, yep, it's the season, it's ridiculous, and he wants to know if someone would explain this more expensive summer blend. You know, we always hear the refinery switching to these summer blends, and it seems to raise the prices here. He's wanting to know something about that. He says, I'm skeptical. And Katie says, I think if everyone would drive a car like a 4.2 or a ride motorcycle, that this would help bring the gas guzzler out of the scene here and
you know, Chris,
make
I
a difference.
I don't think that there's anybody that would, you know, negate any of those comments because nobody likes high gas prices.
Exactly.
So.
Now, I will say I just looked at some of the stock numbers again. Oil right now is below $70 a barrel at midday, so maybe it's making a turn here. We'll see here, but of course, just keep an eye on the gas price. Of course, you know, you can log onto our website and keep a look at those gas prices too.
Yeah, we always have the lowest ones available and tell you where to go.
We sure do. And you know, while you're looking at that, you may want to stop by Facebook, leave some comments. Brittany will tell you how you can leave some comments.
I'll do that. Well, you can give us your Facebook feedback by just becoming a fan of the show. Search for Abilene Midday on Facebook and start writing to us. Now, you've probably heard of those pricey cocktails, but how about having one inside of a mug made of gold? That story is coming up after the break. As we approach the bottom of the hour, here's something to watch later today. A former president speaks in Washington. The Democratic Leadership Council holds a gala in Washington tonight in honor of its founders and its keynote speaker is President Bill Clinton, who was an early proponent of the group. Let's take a look at that hot weather, Chris.
Hot weather, that continues. 7-day forecast, well, between about 95 and 100 the next 7 days. No rain. Now, one model is trying to bring some rain in from the north and west Saturday. I just don't think it's going to happen. This is going to be too hot here. So just make sure you stay cool the next 7 days here. And
I'm going to tell you about something cool right now to keep cool if we had this here. Well, would beer taste any better out of a $50,000 mug? One Japanese gold manufacturer's thoughts as it unveiled a beer mug made of 30 ounces of gold today. The collection is made up of items that are commonly believed in Japan to help beat the summer heat. So we might need that here.
Do you get to keep the mug?
You know, I don't know. We'll look into it. Well, thanks for joining us for Abilene Midday. Be back for First at 5 with me and Randy.
And of course, Keenan Down here coming up tonight at 6 and 10. And like you're watching us here, you can always see news breaking all the time on BigCountryHomepage.com.
Have a great afternoon.